Okay? Realizing that the people withdrawing from him and going to Abu Bakr, Umar fell silent and listened to Abu Bakr's speech. Upon hearing Abu Bakr recite the Qur'anic verse, Umar fell to the ground. The certainty that the Prophet of God was truly dead shattered him. Beguiled by Umar's speech, the people listened to Abu Bakr's statement and to the Quranic verse as it was given to them for the first time. They had forgotten that there was any such revelation. Abu Bakr stuck words dissipated all doubt and uncertainty. His Quranic quotation reassured the Muslims that they are holding fast to God, who never dies, would more than compensate for Muhammad's passing. In other words, they hold fast to the Creator rather than to Muhammad. Okay? Did Umar exaggerate when he convinced himself that Muhammad had not died? When he tried to cause the people to believe likewise? The answer must be the negative. In like way, men of science tell us that the sun will continue to rise in the morning until a certain day when it will explode and disappear. Does any one of us accept such a claim without entertaining a doubt as to its validity and truth? Does not every one of us ask himself, how could the sun explode, disappear, and go away? The sun, by whose light and warmth everything in the world lives. How could it explode and disappear, and the world continue thereafter even for one day? And yet, was the light of Muhammad any less brilliant than that of the sun, or his warmth and power any less strong than those of the sun? The sun is a source of much good, but was not Muhammad the source of as much and equal good? The sun stands in communion with all beings, but was not the soul of Muhammad equal in the communion with all beings? Does not his blessed memory still feel that Umar was not convinced that Muhammad could not have died? And in truth, in one sense, Muhammad did not die and will not die. Having seen him that morning when he went to the mosque, and like all the other Muslims, having thought that the Prophet had recovered his health, Usama ibn Zayd returned to Al-Jur with those of his colleagues who had accompanied him to Medina in search of reassuring news. He ordered the army to prepare to march to Al-Sham. But before the army proceeded forth, it heard the news of Prophet's death. Usama ordered the army to return to Medina. He hung his command flag on the door of Aisha's quarters and decided to wait until the Muslims recovered from their shock. In fact, the Muslims were wondering which step to take. After hearing Abu Bakr and knowing for certain that Muhammad had died, they dispersed. Some of the Al-Ansar gathered around Sa'd bin Ubadah in the courtyard of Banu Sa'dah. Ali ibn Abu Talib, Al-Zubair ibn Al-Awam, and Talha ibn Ubadah gathered in the house of Fatima. And Al-Majurin, together with Usaid bin Huda, as well as Banu Abu Aisha, gathered around Abu Bakr. Soon a man came to Abu Bakr and Umar to inform them that the Al-Ansar were gathering around Sa'd bin Ubadah. The informant added that the two leaders should go out and reorganize Muslim leadership before its division of the Muslim community got any worse. Since the Prophet of God, may God be peace, God's peace and blessing be upon him, was still laid out in the house and unburied, it was surely unbecoming that the Muslims begin to divide among themselves. See, and these things happen. Even before the body is buried, now people start dividing. So this is serious matter. Umar pleaded with Abu Bakr to go with him immediately to answer and see what they would bring. On the way thither, they were met by two upright and trustworthy Ansar men who, when questioned, remarked that Al-Ansar were contemplating separatist ideas. When the two Ansar men questioned Abu Bakr and Umar in turn, and then from them that they were going to Al-Ansar's gathering, they advised them not to go, but to try to settle the Muhajirun's own affairs. Umar was determined to go, and Abu Bakr was not difficult to persuade on this point. He came to Ida and found that the Ansar had gathered around a man wrapped in a blanket. Umar immediately asked who the man was, and he was told that that was Sa'ad Bada, suffering from a serious sickness. Umar and Abu Bakr, joined at this moment by a number of Muhajirin, took their seats in the assembly. Soon a speaker rose and addressed Al-Ansar in the following words, after praising God and thanking, "We are all Al-Ansar. That is the helpers of God and the army of Islam. You, the Muhajirin, are only the brigade in the army. Nonetheless, a group of you have gone to the extreme of seeking to deprive us of our national leadership and to deny us of our rights." So these are two groups. One is the Muhajirun, and the other one is the Al-Ansar.